Hey, today we're going to do the colostomy irrigation and pouching. These are the supplies that we're going to need for the irrigation. We're going to start with just the irrigation. We're actually going to break it into two. So this is for the irrigation. You've got your irrigation bag here. This is what you're going to put lukewarm tap water in, biohazard bag for all the stuff that doesn't need to go in the regular trash, water-soluble lubricating jelly, the cone tip, the belt if you need it, a bedpan or commode. I'm going to set that over here to the side. Your sleeve, your irrigation sleeve, that's where it'll attach onto the stoma, and also the clip for the end of it. This one seals like this up here at this end. Some of them have like one of those Ziploc type seals on them. And then also you can see if you wanted to use the belt, it's got a belt that latches onto it that you can use for to hold it to the irrigation. So I'm not going to use the belt for the demonstration, but we're going to go over here and get started. Again, we're making believe that we're going to have about 1,000 milliliters of lukewarm tap water. Don't want it too warm, don't want it too cold, because you can cause your patient some discomfort. So I'm going to move my stuff over here onto the patient's bed. And I have gathered my supplies. I'm coming in, doing my hand hygiene. Hi, how are you doing there? Can I check your armband? And I check her armband, and she is who she says it is, and it's the right birth date. I've used at least 2 identifiers. Ask her, was she allergic to anything? She's not allergic. And what we're going to do today, Ms. Topper, is we're going to irrigate your colostomy. And when we irrigate the colostomy, I'll go step by step through it and tell you what to do. One thing that you do need to remember is most of the time, irrigation's not going to occur on a brand new colostomy. So this will be something, the irrigation, you'll see more in a long-term care or someone who's had an existing colostomy. It won't be one of those brand new post-op colostomies. So we're going to provide privacy. We've got our irrigation, and the bed's already at a pretty good working height for me because I'm so short. Okay, so I'm going to go and just plain old tap water. I'm going to fill this up to about 1,000. And I'm going to hang it up. And the thing is that I want it on an IV pole or a hook. I only want it to be about 18 inches above where the stoma's at because I don't want too much gravity on it. So we'll say that that's 18 inches. So I've got my water on here, a roller clamp, just like you see on our IV tubing. What we're going to do, we're going to go over to the sink or the trash can, and we're going to prime it just like we would IV tubing and get all the air out of it because we don't want to fill their colon up with a bunch of air. So we've got our tubing primed. There's water at the end of it. This is not a sterile procedure. It is the GI tract. So we've got our bag hanging, we've got it primed. So we've got our privacy, we've got everything. We've told everyone what we're going to do. So we're going to take a linen saver pad and we're going to tuck it under the side that we're working on. Provide privacy, but we're going to tuck this under to catch any fluid or anything like that may come out of the stoma. And usually there'd already be a bag attached, and you'll see that at the end of the video when we do that. So what we would do, glove up, and you would take the pouch off just like we do when very slowly. It's got a seal here on it that's just like a Tupperware seal, okay? And what you're going to see once we get that off, and we're going to look at it, and the pouch, we're going to assess what's in it, how the stoma is looking right now. We want that stoma to be bright red, beefy looking, moist and everything. We don't want this edge of this cutting in on it. If I saw that on an actual patient, I'd probably say, that's a little tight. So, because the paste is going to make up the difference. So, you'll see there's a seal on the back of the irrigation bag. And there's a seal on each of the colostomy pouches too. So what we're going to do is we're going to seal it just like we would a Tupperware seal. And of course, is this one going to be the right size? Yay. And there's all different sizes of these. Now you're wondering why I've got it here. I'm going to say that I've got a pan, or they're going to set it up. You're going to put it wherever you're going to. You can put the bedpan between their legs. You can put it to their side, whatever, and you can just seal the bag on it that way. So we're saying that ends right there right now. What we're going to do, if we didn't have it, another option that we can use is we can actually fold this over and clamp it. And that way everything's going to stay in the bag that comes out of it. So you can do that. Now see, this top part up here is still open. So we're going to take our lubricant. Again, we want water-soluble lubricant. We're going to lubricate the end of that cone tip. Okay? So we've got the end of the cone tip. We've got the irrigating sleeve. This is where we'd put on the belt if they were going to be up moving around or anything like that. And the other end is sealed for this one, or you can place it in the bedside commode, or you can place it in the bedpan, or they can actually sit on the toilet if they're ambulatory. So we've lubricated this, and we're going to go through the wide end of the irrigating sleeve. We're going to put that in there, and we're going to gently insert it with the lubricant on into the stoma. Now, you don't want to ever force it, and it'll set right there in the end. And what you're going to do, you're going to take this clamp, you're going to slowly release it, okay? And the water will start going in. If this patient experiences cramping, cut your water back. Water may have gotten too cold or something. If they experience any discomfort, stop. And like I said, most of the time when you're doing this, it's going to be someone who's probably done it a time or two before. So we've opened it. We let the water go in over about 10 minutes. And then we're going to clamp the tubing back, just like you would IV tubing to keep it from spilling out, and remove that cone, okay? And we're going to take care of that in just a minute. And what we're going to do is we're going to seal the top of this bag. So this one I've actually got sealed at the top and the bottom. So we're going to leave the patient alone for about 20-30 minutes, and that's going to let that irrigate the bowel, and it'll start coming out some. And a patient who has an existing colostomy, who does this quite frequently, may actually know about how long it's going to take them, because it's a pattern and it occurs. Okay? So we waited our 20-30 minutes. Everything's done. They feel better. They feel great. So at this point in time is when we're going to take the sleeve off. And it's probably got something in it. And we're not going to pretend on that right now. So same thing. You want to get a hold and break the seal, being very careful not to spill it. And then you can go dispose of the waste by taking the clamp off and putting it in the toilet or letting it run out. Now, these are reusable most places. So what you would do, and this is on down toward the end of your checklist when you would do this, but these things, they can be reused, and you're going to go rinse them in cold water and hang them to dry. And that is pretty much the irrigation part. We're going to start another section to get you into the actual changing the wafer and applying a new pouch.